In the previous episode, we transformed Spawn into this welcoming reception area before venturing over to the Zetacraft world and getting my hot air ship from that world and building it right over here, which we then used to create this floating flying transport system that goes all the way to the farming area, which is the first stop on the transportation loop. So as time goes on, I will connect it to some of the other industries, and that way, when we have our guests over, they can easily find their way around the world. And even though there's still a bunch of things we can add to this farming area, I think it is time for us to go to the spot I chose for our next industrial area. So let's head on over to the mesa, jump in a little boat, and see if we can make our way up there. And we are here at the edge of the world. Well, not really, just a cliff. So right there behind me, there's a village, but even further back is where we will find a mesa area, and where we need to go is right ahead of us into the ocean. So I'm going to stand right here. I'm going to wait for it to be nighttime. I'm going to sleep, and then we're going to get into this little boat and row out to the new industrial area. And we are here. We are at the location of the new industrial area. And right behind us, you can see one of the future farms. And if not, I'll go underwater just for a sneak peek. Yeah, it's an ocean monument. But our main farming area will be in and around this area, and it will not be just in that monument over there. So I will be constructing that in a few. But for now, we need to clear out that ocean monument. And in the series, I have not made any armor. Well, I've made armor, but they're not really good. Oops, they're not really good. So we're going to cheese the whole ocean monument. So I'm going to run over, place a mega torch, get far, far, far away, and then come back, and hopefully we're only left with the Elder Guardians. That way we can go in, we can punch a few times, and once they're cleared out, we can start planning the position of the starter workshop in this area. Approaching target. Mega torch. And let's fly out. Fly. Okay, let's go back, because I want to place a waystone as well. No! Get out. Oh, we just got zapped by the big guy. Okay, which is fine. Now we need to figure out where we left our boat. This way? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we placed the waystone. We also placed the mega torch, and I do believe I have milk. Yeah, I've got milk in my backpack still from when we still had the pillager infestation. And now if we just go away far enough and then head back, we should only have the Elder Guardians. So let me test that. I'm just going to do the killing of the Elder Guardians in a little bit of a montage thing, I think, because everyone's seen that 100,000 times. So yeah. And we've done it. We've killed the 3 Guardians, and with them out of the way, there's not a lot left to do in regards to the ocean monument. No, now we can actually focus on getting a platform in and starting the first build in the new industrial area. And if you haven't figured it out by now, it's the ocean industrial area, where we will be working on a bunch of farms that all have to do with water in some way. So that will be kelp farming, prismarine farming, the prismarine crystal farming, but also some other products that we can get from these items that we're going to farm in this area. So with that said, I think it's time for us to load up a cannon and just place the platform real quick. 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . . 。 . . . . 。 . . . 。 . . . . 。 . . . 。 . . . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。
「 . 」 . 」 . 」 . 」 . 」 . 」
A new day with new beginnings. The platform's done and we can move everything over here over to the platform. So if we just grab all of this, just rip this out, we can pick up our bags, we can take the waystone, and now that this is all gone, we can make our way over here, and this is it. Welcome to the floating barge. This is the start of the new area, and I wanted to go back to something that felt like we just started. So I've got this floating barge over here, and it's got a lot of room for a lot of things that need to happen, and I'm really excited about it. But the first thing we need to do is maybe christen it by placing the waystone. So I have marked out a little spot, and this is where the waystone will go. So if we put that down, we can just call it the barge, because that's what this area is going to be known as. Well, at least this raft will be the barge, and we have it right there. And the first thing I want to do is plan something on this side. I do have a little bit of idea what I want to do, but I think I should grab a few resources and then we'll start building and getting this ready together. So when you're living on a raft, you need to eat, and to eat you need to have farming land. So we're going to do a not really so functional farmland because we already have food, but it's more going to be for the looks of it. So right over here, I want to start by placing down a composter, a barrel, and then the general idea is that we will have farmland in this area, and I think hydration maybe, yeah, and then we can do another 3 like this. Yeah, I think this is fine. And then we can leave a 3 gap and we can do a smaller little plot on this side maybe. Yeah, that could work. That could totally work. And then I think we should repeat this one again, and we can leave a 2 gap. I know it's now an even number, but I'm not too worried about that. But then again, we can do 3, and then we can do another 3, but I ran out, so we're going to do the normal ones. Like these will just change over time, like so. And then maybe we can rip one of these out. Let's just do that, because we have to add water in here anyway. So let's rip 2 out. So it's another 1, 2, 3, and we do 1, 2. No, that one's going to be water, like so. And that could be farmland. So this can totally be the area where we farm our different crops. And what I'm thinking now is we need to have a barrel over here as well. And I will show you why in a hot minute. Like that. Oh, hello, friend. But that should be that. And now to frame it all, we can't just have it looking like this. I think we should just run trapdoors all around. I don't think we need one over here because we already have a wooden fixture over there. And then we can do that. I also think we don't need one over here. Let's just run it for now. Let's just leave it there for now. And I actually think I might actually enclose the compost as well, because then we have all of this as the same material, which I think if you're living on a barge and you've been restoring it over years, it will not be the same. But again, my barge, my rules. So we're going to cover it just because I don't want to see the composter color. So that's the general idea, and then I'm going to do the same on those. Over here we can add our water, but then what I want to do is I want to add some height, because crop plots are always so flat. So I think what we need to do is grab fence posts, and we can do this. And I think we should go up 1, 2, maybe 3. 2, 3. And then from here we'll just run trap doors. Okay, I guess I can do it from down here, like so. Yeah, I like that. So let's repeat that over here. Okay, so now that we have these two, what we can do is we can run rope over there. And the reason why we're running rope over here is because a tomato plant in this Farmer's Delight mod, as soon as you plant it here, the bush will grow here, but it will actually grow up the vine, thus giving us some height on these. So again, we're going to do rope like so. Perfect. I do have a hoe, so if we just hoe all of the soil and we plant tomatoes here, they will actually grow and climb up the vine. So maybe we'll see it a little bit later, but for now let's just add the water, and we can just nab some out of the sea because it's absolutely not salty at all. And that should be it for hydrating and all of this. So obviously some of these still need to turn. So what I might do is just plant mushrooms on these to turn these quicker. But these ones will be done. We already see some soil hydrated, so we can just add some other crops. This way we add some greenery to the area and it will look really, really cool. So I know for a fact the next part of this build, I'm really going to get an earful of comments saying that a tree is too heavy for the barge. Well, guess what? It's a Minecraft barge. Nothing's too heavy. So yes, we need wood. So these barges aren't going to repair themselves, and wood, well, you can see there's no wood anywhere to be found unless we go up to the Sky Island. And I had this crazy idea of maybe just adding these little plots where, again, all of this is not for function but just for aesthetics, and we can add these little boxes, I almost want to say, that will just house the trees. And again, like mentioned, it's not really for functionality but rather for aesthetics in this area, which I'm quite excited about, and I think that should be fine. So now we can do 3 trees growing up on those, and again we're just going to run around and we're just going to box these like so, and then we can literally just get trees on. I'm not going to plant any vanilla trees because, like I said, it's all for aesthetics. So we're going to actually schematic cannon some of our existing trees in as soon as we've got all the final detail in. So for now, these boxes will just stay open, and when we do our greenery, that one's wrong, I don't know why I did that, but once everything's in, we'll do the greenery part of it and really make this barge come alive. But now we have wood, we have food. Oh, and look, it's growing. So our tomatoes already climbed up one. Yeah, that is such a neat little feature. So we're going to do tomatoes here. We'll do all the other crops, and then we'll do trees over here. But I think the next thing we need to do is in this area. And for this area, we're going to need meat. You can't have veggies or stew without a piece of meat. And I don't know about you lot, but I'll eat fish, but I won't eat fish stew. I wonder, llama stew. Let me think about that. So because the barge isn't big enough, we can't really do pens in this area, because if we do a pen like this and going around, it will literally be 2 blocks wide. So I think we should just settle for, oh, look at them spit at me. I hope they don't kill each other, but we're going to settle for just having them tied up over here. And then how I'm going to change this to make it look like animals are living in here, I'm going to add these framed floor boards, and I'm just going to scatter them all over like so. And then once we're done, we'll just go around and we'll just add some hay bales and leaves to it, just to give it some texture. And I might add a little bit of green as well, or just brown. And that's just what I'm going to do all over. And then once we're ready, I'll bring over the llamas if they're still alive. If not, we will go to the mainland and bring animals over to this area. And there we go, we've got the leaves in. I love how the bushy leaf texture actually translates into these. So instead of them just being square, they do have the leaves off of the side. And then I do think the gap between these are 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. 7. So we can go out 3. 1, 2, 3. We'll do 2 cauldrons, and we'll do some food in the middle. I'll maybe even add one to the side, yeah. I'll see. And then we can just fill up the cauldrons because animals need something to drink, and this will be it. And I do think he killed his friend. Did you killed your friend? You killed your friend. That's pretty rude. So let's rip out this, and you should be passive enough now for me to bring you all the way up over here. And now we have a llama. So we have a llama in this area, and I'll get some other animals for this area. But that's the idea for this. So now we've got food in the form of meat. We've got crops growing. We'll have wood in this area. And then on this side, I think we need to do a water tank and maybe just some storage. Yeah, that could work. That could work. Okay, so right in this corner, right over here, I think we go up 3. We've got these. We're using the industrial iron train holes, and they look like water tanks. So we've got water tanks. And yeah, off to the side, we don't want it to come too far over the edge, but we can use this part for maybe adding a few barrels and stuff like so. So let's do that. Maybe one like that. And we can just add some extras. And now we can start piling on the food crates and all those type of things like so. And this should be perfect. This should be good for our little food storage, and it already brings this whole area to life. And I think it looks great. I really do think it looks great. I think it's going to look even better once we add the trees and the rest of the greenery. But for now, I think this looks really cool. And the thing with the ocean area is it just looks better with shaders on. So let's just check it out with shaders. Yeah, that looks so cool. I know there's still a lot that can happen and it looks a bit full at the moment, but trust me, once all the details in, once all these crops are grown, once we have everything filled and we've got the trees, it's going to look majestic. So with that, I think let me do a little bit more work and I'll bring you right back. So with the farming area up and running, I think it's time we address this side. So the idea is over here, I left 3 little holes, and the reason for these are we need power. We need to create power in this area to power the temporary little workshops or to automate whatever we need to happen. And not just that, just to bring a bit of movement to this area. So my idea was to do maybe 3 windmills in this area that will then just spin, and that will create enough rotational power. And then what I want to do is I want to add a workshop in this area, and I want to add a secondary workshop in this area. And they might be used as workshops, they might be used as storage. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do with that, because I'm also not really 100% sure what this area looks like. I've got 2 really good ideas, and I think both can look really cool, but I'm not 100% sure. I also just want to address something else, is the fact that we're going to do another tree in this area, so we will have some greenery on this side that will just complement that side and tie it together. And then I forgot to mention this big gap. So there's a gap in this area, and the reason for that is the transport loop, because my idea is, and the vision I have in my head is, that the airship will come around and will make its descent, and as soon as it reaches somewhere over there, I want it to be level with the water, so it actually looks like a boat coming in. And I did measure it beforehand, and this is exactly the right size for the boat to come in. So once the boat lands, it should have only a 1 block gap, and you can jump onto the boat, and then you'll be on the boat before it departs for the other side. So I know ideally this isn't the greatest of gaps, because now you have to swim over, but I mean, it's hard to take a swim. But the thought is that this will automatically become the station for the hot air ship. So I'm really excited about that. I've spoken so much, and I think we should maybe do a super build montage, and in that montage we're going to add some windmills, we're going to add 2 workshops, and we might even add the trees. And then I'll see you once all of that is done. So sit back and enjoy the super duper build montage. So that build montage was a little bit of a fail. You see, halfway through doing the montage and placing all the blueprints with the schematic and everything, I noticed I never hit record when I built the 2 workshops. Oh, facepalm. But while we're here, I'll just show you. So we've got this area with the trees, and it's already looking so cool. And again, with the shaders on, it's looking epic. We've got that area with the windmills turning in the background, the tree in the center, and these 2 workshops, again, with our super realistic floors, because why can't we have stone floors on the barge? There is still a bunch of things that need to happen, like these filler items need to get placed. I have some decoration that I started placing, and then I stopped the cannon because I noticed I didn't record. So I will have to do that detail. I want to add some barrels and stuff to this area, and just a lot of stuff that I still have to do, because yeah, I still have to do them, but I just couldn't. I was so discouraged when I noticed I didn't hit record on building the 2 workshops. Anyway, so let me do all of those things manually, and then I'll just be back once it's all in place. And we're done. we're done. I just did it all manually because I was really annoyed because I didn't push record. I guess I could have ripped it down and then just reran it, but no. So this is the area. So let's just swim out again. I left at night because I think we need to see what it looks like at night. And yeah, that is such a neat little build. We've got the water tanks in on the corners. We've got boxes standing all over. We've got plants growing. We've got our lanterns in, and I like the fact that the lanterns are more focused towards the center area, and all of these areas remain dark. Our crops are growing nicely. I'll add some more animals, but we've got our llama over here. We've got some barrels and stuff, and my favorite part is the moss. The moss carpet. So this is a data pack that actually makes it hang over the edge. So it just gives it that little bit of detail, so it's not just a flat thing on top of the wall. So it looks really cool, and the best part is on trapdoors it actually shows through, and yeah, that's just super duper. So I added a bunch of moss all over because this thing's been here for quite a while, so we need to have that shown with the moss. And then also we have these water tanks. I just connected them with some create shafts, and over here we've got a second tree. I need to texturize that still. Oopsie. Got some barrels over here, and then we've got these two nice little workshops that I will be using, and I'm not going to place anything in them yet because I don't know what I'm going to need in this area. So as soon as I start building other farms, I will start adding things to these workshops. But yeah, I love it. I even love this little area over here. And if you come down, so if you fall in, we've got these ladders so you can get back out again. And just look at this view. Just look at it. It is, I think, so cool. I need to do an underwater base real soon. But yeah, this is this area, and I think we should just check it out in the daytime as well. So again, just the same little view, but now it's the morning, and it's just amazing. I really love this, and I can see myself building more barges. But again, like I said, I've got two great ideas, and I need you guys to tell me what you think. So the first idea is, and it's the idea that I'm currently leaning towards more, is maybe just let's do this in map mode. Let's go in map mode. So we've got this. If we do this, so we've got this little barge over here, and it's perfectly lined up that the airship will come through this area. So the idea is maybe to extend and add more barges all around this, as much as we need to make the different farms and stuff, and then even maybe do one on top of this build so we can farm the guardians or something. I don't know about that barge yet, but I know a bunch of barges, and they're just connected with little bridges hanging, so it's almost like a floating village. The other thing is that we can maybe use this as the surface, and it's only a front, and then at the bottom there's a big cave down here that will go down quickly. So there's this cave over here where the barge is all the way up there, and that we maybe drain this and turn this into some form of factory. So it will just be one big open space, and we can add contraptions and stuff in here, or at least some way of controlling the contraptions that we do on the outside. I do, however, think that I like the idea of building the barges more, and then we can have, oh, we fell down. We can have like the farms on the surface underneath each of the barges, and we can make some form of futuristic, yet what is this? Is this like a puffer fish? Oh, I think it's a blobfish. I don't know. Distracted again. But then we can do some form. I'm gonna fall again, so let's do that. So we'll have, like, say, a barge, and for example this one has a hole in the middle, and then underneath that we can go down and we'll farm, say, for example, kelp or whatever. So that's the thing. I need to just find out what you guys, yes, it's a blob, I've got a blob in my hand, what you guys think of the whole idea. Do you think it will look cool? There's another blob. It will look cool to have these bunch of floating barges and have this almost like community or village floating in the middle of the sea with farms on each barge. So yeah, let me know down in the comments. But sadly, it will also be the end of this episode. I know there's not a lot of create stuff happening except from the schematic cannon, but we've really ran out of time. This video took a little bit longer than I wanted it to take, but it was a building episode, and I promise next episode we will have more create things happening. So thanks for watching, and remember, like, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Bye for now.